Are you ready?
Okay.
Good evening. It is 6:31 p.m. We're going to call the meeting to order. Notice is hereby given that this is a regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Sandy Oaks, Texas, being held today, Thursday, November 12th, 2020 at 6:30 p.m. at Sandy Oaks City Hall, located at 4451 Hickory Haven, Sandy Oaks, Texas, 78112, which is being live streamed and accessible to the public as provided below for the purpose of considering the following agenda items. All agenda items are subject to action. In an effort to advance the public health goal of limiting face-to-face meetings, also called social distancing, to slow the spread of the coronavirus, COVID-19, there will be no in-person public access to the meeting. In accordance with the order of the Office of the Governor issued March 16, 2020, the City of Sandy Oaks is providing a live stream video and telephonic access of the meeting to the public. The public may participate in this meeting by using the link provided on the agenda or by dialing phone numbers that are also identified on the agenda. The public will be permitted to offer public comments telephonically or by audio as provided by the agenda and as permitted by the presiding officer during the meeting. Written comments are to be submitted to the city secretary up to 2 hours before the meeting by emailing cityclerk@cityofsandyoaks.com and will be provided to the city council for their consideration. A recording of the telephonic meeting will be made and will be available to the public in accordance with the Texas Public Information Act upon written request. Ms. Shelton, can we get a quorum call?
Alderman Rapino.
Here.
Alderman
Fillinger. Here.
Alderman Walker. Alderman Puente.
Here.
Alderman Tremblay.
Here.
And we do have City Attorney Cassandra Ortiz on Zoom.
And we do have a form.
Thank you. Let's stand for Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item 3 on the agenda is citizens to be heard. Ms. Shelton, do we have any citizens to be heard?
No, ma'am, we do.
Okay, we will move on to item 4, financial and budget report. The income and expenses will be reported by City Secretary Catherine Yelton with possible discussion and action.
Since I have my microphone on, can y'all hear me from here without me using the mic? Because there's a feed. Okay, you can hear through there. You're going to hear an echo. Okay. So the beginning balance as of October 1st, 2020 was $79,456.53. We had checks and payments of $68,786.63. Deposits and credits of $27,393.46. We do have one outstanding, or at that time we had an outstanding check. It's now since been cashed, but it was for $80. Leaving us an ending balance as of October 31st, 2020 of $37,983.36.
Are there any questions regarding the financial report? If not, I will entertain a motion.
Move that we accept the budget report as presented.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Rapino to accept the financial report as presented. Do we have a second?
Second the motion.
And we have a second by Alderman Fillinger. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the motion carries and it is unanimous. Item number 5, consent agenda. All matters listed under consent agenda are considered routine by the City Council of the City of Sandy Oaks and will be enacted by one motion. There will not be separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. There's 3 items on the consent agenda. The first is the approve the minutes from the October 22nd regular City Council meeting. Item B is approve resolution 2020-126, approving and certifying the Bexar County Tax Assessor Collector's 2020 tax roll as required by the Texas Property Code, section 26.09, paragraph E. And item C is approve resolution 2020-127, canceling the November 26th, 2020 and December 24th, 2020 regular City Council meetings. Is there any of these items that anyone wishes to pull for separate discussion?
I move we accept the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Fillinger and a second by Alderman Rapino to accept the consent agenda as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that motion carries and it is unanimous. Item 6, Marshall. Item A, updates and announcements from Marshall Lopez with possible discussion and action. Do you have any specific announcements you'd like to make?
No, ma'am.
Okay, well then we'll move on to item B. Presentation of monthly report by Marshall Lopez with possible discussion and action. Now I know you got something.
Can everybody hear me? Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So for the month of October, the city's activity report, court defendants for the October 20th was 123 defendants, 207 cases. Can everybody hear me? 207 cases. The traffic stops, 105 traffic stops. Citations, 108 citations this month. Warning, 75. Yeah, there we go. Arrest this month was 7. This month also was assaults, 1 assault. Civil matters came out to 4. And commercial vehicles within the city received 1 citation. Also junk vehicles received another citation. Disturbances, we have 4. 4 EMS assist and 1 information report, 2 suspicious calls, person calls, and 2 thefts, 1 unauthorized use of motor vehicle, 1 welfare concern, 2 assist other agencies, and 1 threat, 2 identity thefts, 1 recovered property, and 3 vehicles towed in the city for no insurance. Also, like I said, we had 7 arrests for the month of October, ranging from SAPD warrants to a parole violation, unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, 3 SAPD warrants, and then evading arrest and theft of a firearm, and also another 1 for evading arrest. For this year, we're looking at 326 case files this year just for the city of Sandy Oaks.
Good job, both of you.
Thank you.
Please express our gratitude to Deputy Castillo as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Shelton, is it possible that you could get this posted, updated on the website? Thank you. Questions for Marshall Lopez? Thank you, sir. Item 7, animal control. Updates and announcements from Animal Control Advisory Committee Chair CJ Walker with possible discussion and action. Do you have any general announcements?
Not at this moment.
Okay. We will move to item 7B, presentation of monthly report by ACO Maldonado with possible discussion and action.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Great. All right, so we have total of 9. We have a total of 9 intakes for the month of October. A lot of cases, 2 cruelty and neglect, 7 enforcement on behalf of myself. And we had 16 strays, which were all called in by citizens throughout the city. And we have 2 currently in our custody.
Not at this time. How's the new shelter working?
We still have to adjust.
It's going to be new, I know. Questions for Chris? Thank you, sir. We do have one more item under animal control. I'm going to go ahead and pull item C because we have come up with a solution that will not cost us any money. So we're going to pull item C. All right, let's move on to item 8, Public Works and Parks. An update and announcements from Park Advisory Committee Chair Tom Rapina with possible discussion and action. Do you have any general announcements?
This week, since we didn't have a meeting, but we will have a meeting on Tuesday, the coming week.
Okay. Then let's move to item 8B. Discuss some possible action on purchase of a flag kit with American and Texas state flags to be erected on the site of the City of San Diego's new administrative plaza. I like that term. So I'll turn that over to you, Alderman Ruffino.
Okay, since we're going to have an administrative plaza, I thought it would be appropriate that we had a flagpole with both the American and the Texas state flag on it. So I got some quotes on what it would cost to get the pole. I didn't get quotes on replacement, but since I purchased one of these poles from since I got one, since I got one of these poles from my place and put it in myself, the cost was minimal. So I got 2 quotes, one from Flag and Banner, and that was for $770.32, where I got my pole. And one from Dixie Flag, which was for $1,424.65. Now, this is not apples to apples. The Dixie Flag pole is a higher quality pole, but what I did with my pole, which is the one that is for $770, is I got a piece of PVC pipe and put it inside my pole, which increases the strength of the pole to bring it up to commercial quality. So, I mean, granted, the Dixie flagpole would be a higher quality pole, but it is also almost twice the cost, so. I've had no trouble with my pole.
And I do see on here that Flag and Banner does designate it as a residential 25-foot
The
pole.
other one is a commercial pole. So I got those quotes to give us an option for things.
They're 3 by 5.
Yeah,
Dixie flag or 4 by 6. What is flag protocol for pole height? Is there?
there isn't.
There's no, not for height of a pole then. Okay.
I mean, I think since 4 by 6, it's the same size pole. And I think my flags were 3 by 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you have to use your microphone.
A 25-foot pole would get the flag elevated where it'd be above tree height in that area. Most of the trees there are not that high.
That works fine for my, that's why I got a 25. I considered it 35, but the price goes up
Oh, I'm
almost
sure.
exponentially when you go that high.
So the difference in price here is Dixie flag with the slightly larger flags and the commercial
Yeah, the diameter of the poles is larger.
3.5
3.5 versus 2.5.
versus 2.5. The price is literally
Double.
double, yeah, for the different solutions.
And I would gamble that the inflation is more difficult too.
For the
For
Dixie flag.
the bigger poles. But
How do they normally set those?
well, what you do, you get a sleeve, and you cement that in, and then you just put, the pole comes in sections, and you just put one on top of the other, then you put it in, you have to put the light on top of it
Right.
first before you put it in, and of course, the lanyard,
And both of these include the light?
yes, it includes the light.
Oh, a solar light, okay. For both solar lights, okay.
Do you have a projected date when the building will be occupied?
Yeah,
This
you don't
kind of seems like putting the cart before the horse.
necessarily need to do it now, but we could order it.
Well, the other thing is we could approve it and just not move forward, until we're ready to do that.
Then you have to go back and do them to the court, so, and that doesn't-
We might have to. This says ship by 12/8 on, well, on Flag and Banner.
Got out of,
And who are we talking?
She couldn't hear you.
oh, excuse me. I think they're out of Little Rock. But I got mine within a week. when I ordered it. I got mine within a week when I ordered it. So, but you don't need it technically, so.
Well, that's true. And Alderman Tremblay brings up a good point. We still have some groundwork that's going to be done up there. We have septic and parking lot that are going to have to be done. So,
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be done right away. I figured
Yeah.
we'd want to move in before we did anything.
and to answer your question, Alderman Tremblay, is my goal is a March 1st. I don't know if that's going to happen. We never know what we're going to encounter, but that is the goal.
Looking at the elevation there, the best place to put a flagpole there would be at the highest elevation.
Mhm.
And your point that you made about where, you still got to do the septic, there'll be some more digging done there. If that's the projected timeline, I mean, we could still go ahead with the purchase, but not do the install until all of the utilities are in place.
Right.
Because there may be additional lights for parking lot,
Mhm.
and so there will be quite a bit of trenching.
Yeah.
done. That would be my thought.
I agree with that. Like I said, I didn't expect to do it right away.
Right. Well, and it's it would probably need to be placed in such a manner that it can be visible from the street, because a lot of people don't know where exactly. Yeah, the highest, yeah. So what would you gentlemen and ladies like to do with this?
So I think if, board member, is satisfied with what he did with modifications he made, which can be done at a lower cost than going $1,400, I move we make the purchase from Flag Banner for the $770.32. That was a motion.
I would second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Tremblay and a second by Alderman Fillinger to approve the quote as presented from flagandbanner.com for a pole in an American flag, a Texas flag, and a solar flagpole light to be installed at the Administrative Plaza. I like that. Do you want to do it exactly for this cost? You want to do it not to exceed?
Not to exceed $800.
Okay, so for a cost not to exceed $800. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries, and that is unanimous. Thank you for pulling that together, Alderman Rufino. Okay, item 9. Do we have Lauren on the call with us? I don't see her. Well, I'll give an update. Let me read the item first. 9A. Discuss and possible action on resolution 2020-125, designating an administrative service provider for the 2021-2022 Texas CDBG Community Development Fund application and project implementation administered by the Texas Department of Agriculture. So there was a book here. You've got it. They only sent us 4 copies, so that's fine. You should also have an electronic copy. I don't necessarily need it. I worked with Lauren. If you remembered a previous council meeting, it was determined that we wanted to move forward with pursuing grant opportunity through Texas Department of Agriculture. And so I had spent some time with Lauren. She, because of how the whole process works, I couldn't share with her what project we wanted to use. She couldn't know any of the details of what we wanted, but she did help me understand how to do the application process. So that was done. And one of the requirements is it has to be submitted to 3 firms. And on the TDA site, it has all of the authorized agencies. So I picked GrantWorks and 2 others, one out of Houston and one out of Austin, and submitted the request, and I didn't hear back from anyone but GrantWorks. So the next step after had we received multiple responses, then we would have had to go through a grading process. So there's a set of questions, and you weight them based on the importance. Because we only have the 1 response, then we don't have to go through that process. So what we're doing with this ordinance, I always call it ordinance. This resolution is accepting the response that they have provided. And this is strictly for the administrative services piece of the grant. I will tell you that the grant, and I don't have my notes in front of me on that, the amount of match for the project that I intending to pursue. Ms. Ortiz, may I share that project at this time?
Yes, you can share the project with the council.
Okay.
Or everyone.
So if you remember a few years back, we had the engineering firm look at the Loman, Hilltop Peaks drainage area. We have a problem with our standing water over there. And the cost at that time when the engineer put it together was over $200,000. That's a big chunk of change that is going to be a while for us to be able to set aside that amount of money. This project would fit well into this TDA grant. There is a match component to it. And if we match, when we actually submit the application, which would be in the February timeframe, our potential cost would be about $56,000. Now, it may be even less than that if when we get to the next part, which is selecting the engineering company to do that, if they can utilize some of the work that's already been done, then that cost would go down. But that was the whole intent of pursuing this grant program, was to try to get some funding to work on that project, because that's something that's hanging out there from a few years back. And it would not be until next fiscal year. So it's not even for this budget planning. It's not in the budget that we're in now. We would incorporate that into our next year's budget. If it got to that point that we want to continue and we agree to the match piece of that. So this resolution here is awarding the professional services contract for that CDBG grant to Grant Works. That's the intent of that. And again, we're not committed in any way. This is just the steps we go through to get to that point. You know, come February, we'll submit the application. There's nothing that says that they would even accept our application, but these are the motions you go through to get to that point.
Ma'am, what is the fee for Grant Works?
They take a piece out of the administrative piece. There's no cost to us. She mentioned that, and I do apologize. I don't have my notes from our discussion last time. Do you recall what she had said about that? For the administrative piece that they do, there is no cost to us. It comes from the grant. So let's say that it's $350,000. Their fee comes from the actual grant funding, not.
But is it a dollar amount? Is it based on the dollar amount? So their fee at 300,000 is different than 200,000. So they don't have a flat fee.
I don't.
Okay.
Ooh, audio's a little low.
I will try this again.
Can you hear us now?
The
Yes.
proposal, Form 8507, I'm way towards the back. So,
I lost him again.
that form. I'm sorry. Page 1, Form A507, it's about the second or third, fourth page back. Applicant, Community City of Sandy Oaks, name of firm providing proposal, Grant Works Incorporated. Community Development Fund. Total proposed cost, $38,500 or 11% of the total grant award. So that's what they say.
The other thing that I can tell you about the match piece of that in-kind donations, whether it be providing our workers to assist with some of those things, those count towards match. So it doesn't necessarily mean that that we pay our piece all in cash. There's other ways of kind of reducing some of that.
Can we apply previous engineering costs?
I asked that question, and part of the reason I didn't get a clear answer is because I could not discuss the project with her.
Okay,
And so I just kind of did a what if we had this. And basically, her response was, really that's more of the engineering side of that. If they're willing to accept that, then that could potentially reduce that cost, the overall cost of the project.
right.
That ends up being a call with whatever engineering firm.
Okay,
Just to keep in mind, if it's a $200,000 project, it's pretty hefty.
It is a hefty
Service.
project, yeah,
Yeah, it is.
but it's a necessary project.
well, if eventually that's going to have to be taken care of. It's been on the horizon for 3 years now. There's no upfront cost involved in this. So I make a motion that we approve resolution number 2020-125, a resolution of the city of Sandy Oaks authorizing the award of professional services provider contract for the 2021-2022 Texas Community Development Block Grant, Community Development Fund, and I move that we fill in the blank in section 1 of the resolution with Grant Works. The motion is to approve Grant Works in the resolution.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Billinger to approve resolution 2020-125, which is awarding a professional services provider contract for the 2021-2022 Texas Community Development Block Grant Community Development Fund. And we also have a second from Alderman Rapino. All in favor say aye.
All right,
Opposed? Okay, that motion carries. And I will get in touch with Lauren tomorrow and we'll figure out what the next step is.
Okay.
Okay, item 9B, discuss and possible action on applications received to fill the position of administrative clerk and appoint an administrative clerk if necessary. So this was a very interesting process. I couldn't hire a court clerk and couldn't hire public works, just couldn't find people, but I had a lot of applications for this position. So after reading through all of the applications, one of them really stood out for me, and I think she will be a tremendous asset to the city. I would like to nominate Miss Sandy, how appropriate, Strakowski. I'll get better at it. And you each, do you have her resume here?
I did not provide any.
Oh.
I didn't know.
So I'll give you a little bit of what I see on her resume, the things that kind of jumped out at me. She has 20 years of experience operating and maintaining manufactured home communities, fluent in Spanish and English, has communication and customer service. I've just met her physically for the first time when she walked in this evening. Does data entry, she's notary public. There's just a lot of things I think that she brings. I think her experience in working in a community and managing a community would be beneficial. You learn a lot of things that need to be addressed, and it's not saying that the other candidates were not as qualified. There were, like I said, I got actually that last one that came in, Catherine, I think that made 9
It didn't.
that come in. I would like to nominate Ms. Sandy Strakowski for the position of the part-time administrative clerk. And if anyone wants to see her resume, I know Catherine, I thought we had copies of all this.
You do, yeah. I can make some though, right now.
You'll like this one, Charles. Under education and licenses, TDHCA manufactured housing salesperson license.
Oh,
She can help us with some stuff. And if, Sandy, would you like to, first, let me introduce Sandy. She's sitting right here behind everybody. Hi. And she lives here in the city. Her and her husband moved out here, what, about a year ago? Yeah. And I've met her husband. I've never met her. So this was a treat. But I think she would do fine. And I know Catherine's anxious to get some assistance to help her so she can start.
I have a question. Catherine, have you spoke with Sandy?
I have not yet. But I am impressed with her resume and
You know, there's a lot of experience there in the TDHC that we could use in our city. So
I'm losing you every once in a while.
Is this an appointment or is this a hire?
It's a hire.
Okay, then I move that you negotiate with Miss Sandy wages and any benefits. We start her at the beginning of next week.
I'd like to modify that if you don't mind. I'd like for her to start tomorrow.
Actually, I would rather she start Monday.
You want her? Okay, Monday it is.
The only reason being that Monday is the first day of a new pay period.
Perfect.
And for me to submit payroll on Monday.
Andy, are you okay with that? Okay. So to begin on.
I lost everyone, I think. Were you talking?
Can you hear me now? Okay.
I lost two, and if you can repeat the motion, just so it's clear.
Did y'all hear that?
Okay. In the motion, so it's clear, I move that we hire Miss Sandy and she will have to give me lessons on the last name. So that's a motion.
Now, so hold on just a moment. We've already discussed the salary
Yes.
and the hours. So she's, and that was all put in the ad.
Yes, ma'am.
So I don't know that we need to cover that piece either. Okay.
We're going in and out again, so just be aware.
Okay. Are you running videos back there? Okay. We have a motion by Alderman Fillinger and a second by Alderman Rapino to hire Miss Sandy Strikowski and to begin work on Monday, November 16th. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that motion carries. And what I will do is have Catherine work with you on the benefits. And of course, you're going to be tied to the hip with her. And did I have... Hold on. We have paperwork, Catherine? Do I need to swear her in?
I don't think so.
Oh,
No, she's not a position you would swear in.
perfect. Okay.
She will be Catherine's
She'll be swearing, not swearing.
Deputy according to all the.
Okay, let's move on to item 9C. Discuss and possible action on resolution 2020-124, canvassing the election results of the general election held on November 3rd, 2020. So it was a small list. The results provided from Ms. Callanan from Bear County Elections has given us our final counts here. The final vote tallies were Alan Young had 429 total votes. Mickey Ball had 512 total votes. And so that has determined, I guess, who the new mayor is. And I think, I'm sorry? The old new mayor is the old mayor. So what we need to do is, and this requires a roll call, is that correct? Or record vote. Is that correct?
Yeah, and Mayor, did the city receive the official results after all from the county? Because we still need to wait on that before we can canvass.
Yes, Jackie has confirmed these are the official results.
Okay.
Okay, so what we will do at this point is do a record vote on the election results.
Do we make a motion for
Huh. Why don't you do that?
that? I move we approve resolution number 2020-124, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Sandy Oaks canvassing the returns and declaring the results of the general election held on November 3rd, 2020, for the purpose of electing the mayor, alderman place 2, and alderman place 4, and other matters in connection therewith.
We have a motion by Alderman Fillinger to approve resolution 2020-124, canvassing the election results of the general election held on November 3rd, 2020. And we have a second by Alderman Rapino. This is where we will do the record vote. Alderman Fillinger, yea or nay?
Yes.
Alderman Tremblay, yea or nay?
Say it again.
Yay.
Alderman Rapino, yea or nay? Yay. Alderman Walker, yea or nay?
Yay.
And Alderman Puente, yea or nay?
Yay.
Okay, that is unanimous. Okay, so item D is presentation of certificates of election and administration of oaths of office for persons with the most votes in the general election held on November 3rd, 2020 for the positions of mayor, alderman place 2, and alderman place 4. Catherine, you want to do me first? Not in any order here. Yeah, but I want to do them by person. Here's Bricken. I don't know. What'd you do with it? Well, she doesn't get a certificate of election. This is place 2. And this is place 4. That's mayor.
Oh.
Well, they were. How does that work, Ms. Ortiz?
What was it? Y'all were the order, or what do you?
No, the statement of the officer.
So first you present the certificates to them, and then the statement of the officer, or the anti-bribery statement, it's not read. They just need to sign it before they're between the certificate and before the oath and give it to Catherine for filing, and then you will give them the oath.
So, but on mine, am I the signature officer?
No, I would.
You would.
For the certificate of yourself?
Statement of the officer, it needs a signature of officer.
Oh, yeah, you.
I think it's up to when Mr. Ruffino can sign that. Yes, Mayor Pro Tem.
When you sign it,
Okay,
you're signing that you didn't put in contribution.
I have not.
Cassandra, who signs Mickey's, certificate of election? Herself? Does it matter?
I'm sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, the mayor is the one authorized to give the certificates, or Alderman Rapino can as mayor pro tem.
Let's let Alderman look at it.
Okay, I'm not gonna redo it then because it's got your name on the bottom.
Okay, okay.
So now it's running.
Here we go. The sticker's on my shoes, sorry.
Do you want to stand in front of here? I guess.
Oh, because, yeah.
So in the name of the authority of the state of Texas, oath of office. I, Mickey Ball,
I, Mickey Ball,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the duties
that I will faithfully execute the duties
of the office of mayor
of the office of
for
mayor
the city of San Diego
for the city of Sandy Oaks
of the state of Texas
of the state of Texas
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws of the United States
the Constitution and laws of the United States
and of this state, so help me God.
and of this state, so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We need that finance.
Gary Bricken, you're up. Yes, I'm gonna give you some things to say and you're gonna repeat them. So the first thing I'm gonna do is give you your certificate of election. And the next thing is there is a statement that I need you to read.
Mayor, audio is going out.
But we're not talking.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking.
Yes, sir. Right here. On this one. That's you. You are an officer. Today's the 12th. Okay. Can you hear me now? Okay. So we're going to administer the oath of office. Would you raise your right hand, please, and repeat after me? I, Gary Bricken,
I, Gary Burkin,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the duties
I will faithfully execute the duties
of the office of Alderman Place 2
of Alderman Place 2
for for the city of Sandy Oaks
for the city of Sandy Oaks
of the state of Texas,
of the state of Texas,
and will to the best of my ability
and will to the best of my ability
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws of the United States
the Constitution and laws of the United States
and of this state, so help me God.
and of this state,
So help me God.
so help me God.
I need you to sign. Oh, there's lots of paperwork. What happened? Oh, yeah, David's out.
See you next year.
We're not talking.
I know, but it's like those phone calls.
You want me to hum or something? Okay, Mr. Crickmer, you are up.
I have no audio.
We're about ready to go. I'm going to have him read and sign the statement of officer. Okay. So here is- Not, well, not yet, not until we.
He gets his certificate.
Okay. 6 feet apart, please. Okay, raise your right hand, repeat after me. I, John Crickmer,
I, John Crickmer,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the duties
that I will faithfully execute the duties
of the office of Alderman Place 4
of the office of Alderman Place 4
for the city of Sandy Oaks
for the city of Sandy Oaks
of the state of Texas,
of the state of Texas,
and will to the best of my ability
and will to the best of my ability
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws of the United States
the Constitution and laws of the United States
and of this state, so help me God.
and of this state, so help me God.
Congratulations. And speaking of, we need a little things out. So I need you to sign your name right there. That'll teach you. And let me sign off on that. And John, you are now seated over there.
Correct?
Thank you, Lord, for your service. On this.
Okay, so here is John's. And John, this is your copy. Before we move on, I do want to thank Alderman Tremblay and Alderman Walker for their service. You know where you live. Okay. We're going to move on to item E. Discussing our possible action on procedures for filling the position of Alderman Place 5 for the unexpired term, and/or a resolution to fill the position of Alderman Place 5 for an unexpired term by appointment until the next regular municipal election or by special election. Um, This pertains to Ms. Puente. And when she accepted the position, it was understood at that time that it was only, she would only serve until the regular election. So she also is up for, I would like to nominate her to continue in that position. She's barely gotten her feet wet, but she's doing a great job and seems to be enjoying it. She hasn't said otherwise. So if someone would like to make a motion on item E.
Yes, ma'am. I move that we approve resolution number 2020-128, appointing Jennifer Puente as alderman, place 5.
Say that again, please. Tom.
Turn it on?
Yeah, it's on.
Okay,
Okay.
he seconded.
Okay, so we have a motion by Alderman Fillinger and second by Alderman Rapino to nominate Jennifer Puente to fill the unexpired term for Alderman Place 5. All in favor say aye,
Aye.
except Jennifer, of course. All opposed? Okay, that motion carries. And Ms. Puente, if you would join me over on this side. We will administer your oath.
Mayor, before that, does she have the anti-bribery statement? Is there a copy for her?
Yes, that's what I was
Okay.
going to sign right now. So there is your statement of office.
Cassandra, when you say the anti-bribery, it's the same as the statement of officer?
Yes, the one that says they haven't paid or influenced
Yeah.
anybody for the position.
Yeah, I prepared one for that.
Yep.
I know. Raise your hand. Repeat after me. I, Jennifer Puente,
I, Jennifer Puente,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the duties
that I will faithfully execute the duties
of the office of Alderman Place 5
of the office of Alderman Place 5
for the city of Sandy Oaks
for the city of Sandy Oaks
of the state of Texas,
of the state of Texas,
and will to the best of my ability
and will to the best of my ability
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws of the United States
the Constitution and laws of the United States
and of this state, so help me God.
and of this state, so help me God.
Congratulations. I do need you to sign that one. Congratulations, everyone, and thank you again to the two of you for serving. I hope it wasn't too terribly challenging. We will move on to item G, discuss and or possible action on naming a mayor pro tem. So if everyone recalls, every year we select a mayor pro tem. I don't know that it would be a huge surprise to anybody on council now or leaving council that I would like to nominate Charles Fillinger as mayor pro tem, and I would like first to ask him if he would be willing to accept that nomination.
Yes, ma'am.
So from the remaining members of council, I will entertain a motion to accept the nomination.
Move that we accept the nomination to make Alderman Charles Fillinger the mayor pro tem.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Rapino and a second by Alderman Crickmer to accept the nomination of Charles Fillinger as mayor pro tem. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries. Yeah, you. And with that, we'll move on to item number 10. It is now 7:31 p.m. and we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Night, everyone.
Good night and congratulations, everyone.
Thank you, Cassandra.